So Toronto has a vacant home tax declaration that you need to do by February 2, right? The 2nd of February 2023. Now, unfortunately, a lot of people haven't gotten the letter. And what letter am I talking about? It is this yellow letter here. So basically, a lot of people haven't gotten this. I don't even know when this was sent out, but basically, oh no, wait, it says November 17th. So even though it was sent out November 17th, most of the people, actually, it wasn't sent out November 17th. It was printed on November 17th. So, hell, who knows when it was sent out because a lot of people haven't gotten it until December, mid December, right? And, still some people still haven't gotten it because some of my friends, right, like, oh, I've never gotten it. I don't know what's happening. And then you have some of my family that don't even speak English. They're 70, they're 80, they're old, they're ready to die and everything. They're sitting around waiting for it or thinking about it, and they're like, oh, they don't even think it's real. Because the thing is, what happens with a 70 and 80-year-old? Well, unless I get the letter, it's not real, right? And unfortunately, that's not true because what is happening is they're going to tell you to use your tax bill. And it's very unfortunate that they did this thing and there's not enough marketing. They market so many things, but they don't market this tax bill. And this actually benefits them because the more people that don't know, I guess what happens is they can apply the tax. Because if they don't do the paper, I mean, they don't do the declaration by February 2nd, which is up there, right here, February 2nd, 2023, what happens is they will automatically think that it is a vacant property. And that is very, very suspect because then I guess they're going to be charged with 1% of their assessed value. That's a lot of people. I mean, imagine that. I mean, I've spoken to a lot of people and they don't even know about it, and some of them are arrogant, ignorant about it unless they get the paper. And this paper, like I was saying, it wasn't even sent early. It's not like it was sent half a year ago or a year ago. No, no, no. This wasn't sent a year ago. This was sent at the end of 2022. And you needed to do it but at the beginning of 2023, which is like, some of the older people just probably, especially in Toronto, think about it this way. Toronto is known as an international city, right? International city, not only international city, but a multicultural city. So, this thing, not a lot of people understand it that don't speak English, that don't understand English, and there's a lot of those. Like combined with the old people, it makes it even worse, right? So, anyways, they're gonna get either fined, right, when they figure it out, because if you don't do it, the tax applies. Now, if you say, oh, you don't know about it or you just didn't do it, then you're gonna still get fined, and I believe it's like $250 to $10,000. I could be completely wrong. You could check out those numbers yourself, but that is the fine. You have to do this every single year, and I don't even think they're going to send out the yellow paper. Even if they do, they should send it out much earlier because what the hell, right? But anyways, this thing is showing you use your tax bill. So which means that they're saying don't depend on the yellow paper, right? So anyways, uh yeah, I mean, you have to declare this thing or late declaration. Hey, I'm reading a yellow paper right now. Late declaration subject to a fine of $250. Subject. I don't even know if they will fine you, but we will see. Now, you have to declare this thing, and like I was saying, it's very, very easy to declare. You just take the number from here, shove it into here, you take it into here, or this number here, shove it into there. Now, if you have the yellow paper, it'll be easier. All right, so there's actually another form, and I'll show you that form instead of the portal. Okay, so this is the vacant home tax declaration form. It's the same as the portal. I mean, it's just as confusing. Actually, this is more confusing than the portal. I mean, the portal was confusing already. I don't even know if I did it correctly, but I think I did it correctly. But basically, this is the form if you really don't want to use the portal, right? Basically, you download this thing, and I think you submit this to the freaking city by sending it by snail mail. All right, so basically you put your roll number here, and then your address there. Your email is optional. Your telephone number is there. And it will ask you the same thing in the portal. So, and then you go to the second section. So, I, the owner, authorized below the representative. All right. So, if somebody is doing it for you, this is where you're gonna let them whatever. But I don't think a lot of people would need to do that. Okay, this is the third section. This is required, the principal residence. So this is not required. What the hell? Okay, so anyways, I don't think this is required. It's kind of stupid because why is there a section 2? I mean, and it should say not required, right? But anyways, this one is required. And A is this property was used as a principal residence occupied by past 6 months by the owner. So you go to yes. If you click yes, you go down to section 6, you sign this thing, date it, and then I think you just submit it to the city, which is the address there. Now, the other things, right, if it wasn't, of course, here's the occupant, tenant. You could check one of these things off. And then if none of the above applies, you go to C or D, which the property was vacant, but exemption is exempt from taxes. You could check that off if that's true. And then D, the property was vacant. So the tax applies if you check off this one. Now, the other things, I'm already confused by a block of taxes, but here are the exemption. Death of the owner, property is undergoing renovation or repairs, principal resident is in care. So if he's like in the hospital or something, transfer of property, yeah. So that one, if they're like being transferred. So anyways, so these are the exemptions, right? But yeah, I mean, it's actually easy but confusing at the same time. I mean, it's easy to do because you just check this here and here. But, some of the wording is confusing. But anyways, so that's what you need to do. You can do it on the portal. You can submit this form. The portal is easier, and it's more likely for mistake. This one, I'm just sitting around thinking, there's too much to read here, and there's a lot of room for mistakes too. But anyways, you still need to do it even if you don't get the yellow letter. That's why they're telling you to use your tax bill. Unfortunately, everything was so rushed, especially was, when they're sending out the letters in the end of November, and then it arrives. And because, don't forget, right, that was during the Christmas period, which means that a lot of mails were late. On top of that, right, there was the holidays, right, weeks of holidays, which, obviously compounded the situation. So most people are only getting it around December and January, and you have to do it by February. What if those people never got it, right? So anyways, that's all. That's the Toronto vacant home tax, and that's what you need to do.